Welcome to another edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line. I'm Frank Walker, Vice President of Governmental Affairs here at the Florida Chamber, and joining me today is Representative Joe Gruters from Sarasota. Representative Gruters, thank you for being with us.
Thanks so much, Frank.
So you've been an unwavering supporter of Enterprise Florida and Visit Florida as the House has discussed either completely eliminating these two programs or significantly cutting these programs' funding. Why are they important to our state?
Well, it's all about jobs. I mean, Governor Rick Scott's been focused on job creation and economic development since he was elected governor, and sitting as a local businessman in Sarasota, Florida as a CPA, his 7-year plan to create 700,000 jobs, to me, was the perfect pitch. And he's been laser focused at that. I think he's helped diversify our state. And basically what it comes down to is, do we want to continue to diversify our economy with some of these targeted industries so we could stop the brain drain that's occurring here in Florida? And I think the best thing we could do is reform these bills rather than completely eliminate them, which is what I think that the two bills that are moving forward in the House right now are trying to do.
It's kind of the old political cliche of not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, I guess. We certainly appreciate your support for economic development. And as these other two bills are moving, I know you've been working with the governor's office to craft language to specifically address some of the concerns that have been raised about Visit Florida, Enterprise Florida. That bill, HB 889, can you tell us a little bit about what it does?
Well, what it basically does is it creates, everybody talks about wanting reform. There's no question that there have been some mistakes that have been made. But the thing is, what we want to do is we want to continue to make things better, not completely eliminate it. So what this does is it puts transparency in the process. It mirrors some of the other government agencies that exist in terms of the insider dealings that we've seen, making sure contracts are open and transparent, and really just cleaning up the system to put more oversight in place to make sure that some of the problems that we've experienced, that we've seen over the last couple of years, get cleaned up. I think that we're up to about 16 people that have agreed to co-sponsor this bill. We're picking up momentum. I think that the most people generally feel in the House that these programs need to be reformed and not replaced. And, the governor put it perfectly when he said, every 76 visitors that the state of Florida gets turns out to be one new job for a Floridian. And of course, that's in the tourism side, and so that's why Visit Florida is so important. We had 122 million visitors last year, and the governor, and I hate to keep on repeating the governor's quotes, but the governor said it perfectly in the State of the State when he said Coca-Cola never ended their advertising once they ended up on top. And that's what Florida needs to continue to do. As a guy who's been in politics for a long time, you kind of throw everything at the wall when you're running for these offices because you don't always know what works. And in advertising, what Visit Florida has done is they've joined up with all the local tourism groups in the local areas, and what they do, they have economy of scale. They help everybody bring in more tourists. It makes everybody a winner at the end. And of course, Enterprise Florida, if we could continue to help families be better providers for their children, that's what it's all about. Jobs solve a lot of issues, and I think we need to do everything we can to help promote jobs here in Florida.
Well, switching gears just a little bit, you said that you had grown up as a political guy. You were an early supporter of the president, Donald Trump. Give us your early read, how you think he's doing, and then some of the issues that he's going to be tackling for the business community over the coming months.
Well, certainly tax reform, I think, is the biggest issue that he could tackle, and I think he's going to continue to deliver on his campaign promises. I know there's a lot of flack out there for a lot of things that he's doing, but he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. It's no different than we always say, we want people to do as they say, not do as they do, or whatever that line is. But at the end of the day, he's doing exactly what he campaigned on. He's doing a great job. And I think that he'll continue to bring Americans together because, again, just like Governor Scott on the level of Florida, he's creating jobs, creating a overall market to where America is going to be a much better place to do business. And that's what it's all about, making sure that we can create the right environment so existing businesses can grow and that new entrepreneurs out there can come in and set up businesses, create jobs, and put America back to work.
Absolutely. It's great to have a businessman in the White House again. So that's all the time we have for today, but thank you for joining us, Representative Gruters, and to our viewers, thank you for joining us for another edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line.